can make this risky one. Shit's hit the fan and we're overrun. Sending boys in the trucks with the 50 cals. Tell every swinging dick bringing extra rounds. Hang in now, boys, we're on our way. Don't send them out of heaven before we get a taste. Whoa, cry havoc, let's slip the doors away. What you gonna do?
What's happening, folks? We are on the road shooting a little podcast remote here from our hotel. And it's been a long day. We've been on the road for about 10 hours or so. Let's see if I can get to the comment section here. Hopefully I can. Comments. There we are. Yeah. Yes, we are remote, Rick. We are out here. We are in Wendover, Utah, right on the border. What's up, dog? Mr. Lovell. We are right on the border of Nevada, Utah right now. Half of this town is in Nevada. The other half is in Utah. We jumped over to the Utah side, and this is a phenomenal hotel, man. It's a Super 8 hotel. Great price, super clean, big rooms, real friendly folks. But, dog, let me tell you, 107 degrees is what my truck read out there. Bro, I found the exit for Hades, and it turns out it's right on the border of Utah and Nevada. Good Lord, it's hot here. Yeah, man, but it's a dry heat. No, it is an oven out there. Good night, is it hot? You know, driving out here last Thursday, the hottest part was coming to Salt Flats. It was like hit 100, and I was like, okay, that's just too much. Coming back here, it was like 100. Okay, we'll see that. We'll up you an ante of another 5-6 degrees here. It's nuts. Dude, I don't have the ability here remote because I'm too stupid to learn how to get all of the images to the point where I can do this. So I'm going to put the images just in posts for my personal, and I'll throw some up on the WS and PDKS sites from this trip because it just a mountain of photographs were taken here. You know, if you're a bass angler, Clear Lake, you hear about this. It's legendary, right? Whether you're starting off or getting going, you hear about the legends and hear the stories about the pros that cut their teeth on Clear Lake. Or perhaps you do something and you take a look at the tournament results for this lake, and you see the fact that unless you come in with 30 pounds, you don't even have a shot at a check on some of these. And dude, it for most of us, most of the anglers, even that I know, a 30-pound bag is something that's almost unfathomable, right? You're talking, you know, this level of a fishery where you're able to find in a very short period of time 6-pound fish, dog. It's not easy. My man Lucas, who was the founder of this feast, see you in the comments, dog. Love you, man. Had an absolute blast. Lucas is the whole reason that we went that direction, man, was to go see him. Lucas is a good friend. He used to live out. He fished CKB events back in like 22, and then in 23 he moved out there. And so we knew sooner or later we wanted to get there and get out and see it. But he set us up with the campsite, you know, and make no mistake, feeling a little guilty. You know, this is putting this, you know, this is a personal trip, man, through and through. Yes, I was going to see my good buddy. But this was, you know, there was no TPO work here, none of that. This was all on, you know, my beautiful wife allowing me to go see my friend and just have an amazing long weekend out here at this place. But like I was saying, you know about Clear Lake. And I always have the problem where I build things up too far in my head, and then when I get there, I'm disappointed, right? Well, I can honestly, easily, beyond a shadow of a doubt, tell you that I had no clue. What I was thinking about Clear Lake, I didn't even come close. It is everything I imagined and beyond. It is the most unique body of water. And I'm going to say this flat out to anybody in earshot. If you're an angler, specifically also a bass angler, I don't care what you have to do. You figure out a way and you get to Clear Lake, California, and you go fish that for a couple days. This is not the kind of reservoir where you're going to show up and fish are going to jump in the boat. Okay, it's not like that. You got to know what you're doing, and you have to work for it. But the rewards there, my man Lucas smashed a handful of 4-pounders, several 5-pounders. I'm telling you, these fish that come in at 15, 16 inches fight like they're 18, 19-inch fish that we're used to catching. They're fat. They're gorged in this super healthy fishery. And just to talk about the fishery there, take the mountainous terrains of like Colorado, New Mexico, surround the lake with that, at least one side of it. It looks like the hillside, some rocky bluffs and things of this nature. Start there, right? Then add in the fact that it's a natural lake. It's not a reservoir. This is a natural body of water. And Lucas, I think if I'm right, it is the largest natural lake in the state of California, I believe. Add in weeds, add in rocks, add in some algae, some brush. This landscape, tules, stuff that looks like lily pads, that's not. You can still punch it, you can still frog it. This body of water is unique just to itself. It can fish drop shotty all the way to punching with 1 ounce, weights. You name how you want to, and I was going to do some awesome content this trip. Correct, largest natural within Cali, yeah. I was going to do some content about the certain baits I was using and how those are working at Clear Lake, but I got to be straightforward and honest. It was less the bait and more the location, in my opinion. Lucas, you may disagree, but he did have some bait that he was throwing there that was like clockwork. But and you would catch more with the right, color and presentation. You'd catch more, but you could still catch them. I mean, proof to this is we caught fish cranking shallow, medium crank, spinnerbait, chatterbait, frog. Lucas, did you get one also on the spook? I couldn't remember. Texas rig, Senko and craws, jigs galore, Ned rig, shaky head. We caught fish on all of those presentations. And again, though, it was where we were throwing those presentations, the time and place. So you still had to know what you were doing there. But the amount of fish, good night. Lucas has one of those clickers, right, that he uses. And I was asking, but dude, what number are you on? You didn't get anything on a spook this trip, but you have caught him on spook there in the past, yeah. But he was like up to 16, 17 on his clicker already at that point. Day one, I wasn't as prepared. I'm not gonna lie, I was maybe a little awestruck. I did catch I think I got to about 10 total fish on day one. My best one coming first thing in the morning. Day two, on the other hand, I got a lot more numbers. Day two, because I felt like I was a little bit more ready for what we needed to do. I had like day one, I was coming in with some like 1 ounce weights and 3/4 ounce weights, realizing that weekend that wasn't the deal. So slowing it up, bringing to a quarter, 3/8, half, depending on what you were throwing, just dialing in some things, right? That was really the key. Plus, getting a couple of colors that we clearly saw on day one, killing. That didn't hurt. But Lucas and I it was as if we, had just been fishing at Quincy. And so it was super cool to go there and just and look and see this legendary body of water. We were saying something last night. So we go out 2 days, but then we got off just a hair early so I could recharge my battery for the kayak. And then we went back out for a few hours in the evening last night. And I hadn't been evening fishing forever. And good night. We hit them again as the light went down and got less. Tearing them up in the bushes, pitching and flipping into bushes with jigs and Texas craws, was killing it. Had a couple blow-ups on the frog. My biggest was about an 18.5 inch, and I would argue that thing was pushing 4 pounds. These fish are not like the standard fish, man. They're fat. I mean, these fish were so porked out, and just stout. I mean, they're just dense fish. But he destroyed this Spro frog I had, this paddle frog, the 18.5 I hit first thing in the morning. But anyway, that evening, as we're coming back, where Clear Lake lies is such a unique location. As the sun is going down, not only did it paint this red-orange, just majestic horizon, but it did it on both sides of the lake, east and west. It was, I'm telling you, when we see things like that, I don't know how you did not believe that the Creator himself had his hand in this to provide this. It is just such a beautiful place. The people, wicked friendly. Northern California is not the California that's ruining Colorado. I just want to say that straightforward right now. Northern California is the California that is our people out there. It was not packed crazy. Dude, I've had worse experiences with numbers of boaters and such fishing at Chatfield or Horsetooth or Boyd or those places up there in Colorado. Way worse. We had a couple, the boaters, they still look at kayakers like for a nuisance or whatever, right? Some of them. But then others are super friendly and awesome. But no, man, there's just so much to unpack here. Like Lucas said this best. The thing that makes Clear Lake so amazing for the angler is that's why you're there. Now, there was a jet ski or two. There was a couple wakeboards, boats out there. There were a couple, water skiers. But for the size of lake that it is, the numbers of those wreck boaters, so almost minute, almost not even noticeable. People come there to fish. And this is a ridiculously healthy fishery. Bait galore. And these fish are just angry when they hit the line, man. Bass doing what bass are supposed to do as well. For those of you that want to drop shot it and want to, light line it, there's areas that you can go do that, 100%. Fish how you want to fish, and chances are you're going to, as long as you get to the right locations for those type of fishing, you're going to be just fine. But yeah, we spent some time looking in some dead water here and there. Then we made adjustments, came around. Talking to the local tackle store really helped. That's something else I can tell you that is not very common. A lot of tackle stores will tell you things just to get you to buy more stuff in their store. These guys were telling us stuff that was legit. They were saying, they gave us some tips on day one about, try this. If you're coming from a kayak, try this area and this area, and you should be on 40 fish throughout the day and da-da-da-da-da. But yet everybody else were hearing that, that it was fishing tough. So nevertheless, dude, sitting around camp with my man Lucas, trading stories, jokes, and he cooked up some phenomenal steaks on night one. I haven't had a steak in so long. That was super cool. Then night two, we did up some brats, went to the grocery store, got some sides. Night three, we decided to go ahead and go on into town, hit the local casino there. Real friendly staff, good food there. And then we, like I said, we went back out again. The weather was unbelievable. It never really got overly too windy, not too crazy. No rain or anything. Pretty warm. I mean, not for nothing. Those showers were good at camp, and we needed them because it got pretty warm there. Not wickedly humid though, like I kind of anticipated it would be, but not at all. One of the days got a little humid, but nothing like, the southern state swing that we've done in the past. Not even close. But as I said before, quality of fish, the type of fishing, if you want to understand bass fishing, if you want to understand how so many amazing anglers came from California, every year we get more and more of them. What is it about it? Clear Lake will explain it to you in a bad, fast hurry. I also want to say this. I get it why the anglers don't want to make that trip. We always put this kind of on Bassmaster, right? Why don't you bring the big dance out there? I bet you it's less about Bassmaster and more about the fact that the anglers themselves, because I got to tell you, dog, no matter how you come into Clear Lake, you either got to come through like Satan's Kitchen, or you got to come up and over the Sierra Nevadas, and you better have all of your equipment checked proper. Brakes, coolant, tires, towing, because there's some stretches there where you're going to go 120, 150 miles and you aren't going to see anything, and it's going to be 102 degrees. And then you're going to start getting into 6% grades that you got to run down or you got to climb up. The wear and tear on your gear alone, and for the casual angler like watches this podcast, for those of us that are just the casual anglers out there, we don't, get that, right? But when you make a living 100% from your truck, and that is, your business is taking that truck and that boat around, you don't want to tear up your equipment, right? And I get that. And it's a bittersweet thing because it's got a gut of it. They know what that place is like. They know how amazing a fishery when it's taken 40 and 40 plus pounds to win an event. Come on. I mean, you want to fish at a place like that, but good night. If your stuff can handle the trip getting over there, if your gear can make it, the rewards are amazing. Clear Lake, as I said, absolutely blew my expectations away. The people in the area, fantastic. Even, and for California, actually not that expensive in that area at all. It's kind of the last frontier of California north there. But Clear Lake is, we just saw one small little area. That's all we fished this time. There's so much more to that lake that you can go and check out. It's a huge body of water, very diverse. And as I said before, the health of that fishery is staggering. It was worth every bit of the 19-hour drive. We'll start putting up a post or two. We'll get some pictures of share of the whole trip out there for Clear Lake, just because, as I said, if you were to make a Mount Rushmore of Bass Lakes, Clear Lake's got to be in there, right? It's got to be one of those five up on the side of the mountains out there. It's that good of a lake. And I've been to, very fortunate to say, I've been to some bucket list destination bass lakes. And so far to this date, nothing has come close to Clear Lake. I haven't had a day left fishing like that, and man, I don't know, maybe never since I was in the tournament game. But I didn't go out there with that kind of mindset. I went out there just to enjoy and take in every last bit of this, and I was able to do that. And again, thanks in part to my man Lucas. Lucas, thank you so much, dude, for setting that up and helping me have a place to land and showing me the ropes out there and giving me the once over. He's been from tough fishing over to, well, not tough because it's not easy, but he's been from starving fishing areas like in the West to places that reward you for major way. And yeah, so like he's definitely that. Next on the list is the Delta, man. We got to get down there. That's another legendary body of water. You think about some of the anglers that have come out of Clear Lake, the Delta, and some of the surroundings. Of course, everybody immediately thinks of Aaron Martens, the late Aaron Martens, maybe one of the most naturally skilled anglers that's ever visited the game. But also, you get the likes of Skeet Reese, Jimmy Reese, Ish Monroe. The list goes on. Of anglers that have come out of this area that have cut their teeth in these areas. And that's it makes total sense now when you see it there. Camping is super cool too. Very clean campgrounds out there. Very, very awesome all the way around. So yeah, you can't go wrong. Airbnbs, camp it, whatever you want to do. But however you need to do it, get to Clear Lake. I'm telling you that right now. It's you're a bass angler out there. Put it on your list and make it happen one way or another. You will not be sorry. And spend a couple days. Have 2-3 days there to chill out and check the place out because it's worth a bit of it. All right, folks. We're here, as I said, in Wendover. Got one more day, about nine more hours of driving tomorrow home. We've got a field up or two. I do want it to be known. Now, I've got a situation with the health of a family member that we need to address. So there may be a chance that the podcast itself might have to take a break for a week or two. We'll see. It's not local here. It's some extended family, so that we have to take care of some stuff there. So I may or may not be around for the podcast, but we'll have video updates and keep folks in the loop. Next Sunday, you want to tune in. We're going to be putting it up. Nicole is her name, U.S. Army veteran. She is now a content creator online. It's one of the things she does. And her purpose behind this is for the attempt to try and arm folks with real factual information and help keep knocking down the garbage that gets spewed out there. I'm going to put full information all together that with her links to her stuff. She's taken off and blowing up on socials. People are getting behind it completely. They're appreciating the fact that she is pulling the veil back on a few things. We normally at the Double S don't get into any of the political game, and this is one of the reasons I like Nicole, because she doesn't either. She's not playing left or right here. She's not playing Dem Republican. What she is playing is calling out a group of individuals out there for doing certain things that are detrimental to the United States of America. And they're doing it in a sneaky, slithery way. And she's basically spending a lot of time trying to help bring light to these topics. You're not going to want to miss this. Nicole's going to be here with us next Sunday. Be looking for our promo. We'll probably start the promo on Tuesday. And you'll see all her information out there. You want to tune in. That's when it's going to be a fun one here. We'll see if we can, see what we can dig up with her out here. So, all right, folks, I'm going to go eat my Subway. Short deal tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully the sound and everything, it looks like it came through all right. When's the next trip? Let's do it again, brother. Yeah, I love it, dude. No clue. I got to go home and talk to the boss and find out what we got going on here. But yeah, the next time we do this, a couple of these jokers that are also chiming in here need to be in tow, because if we split it up, we can drive it straight through. If we got 2 or 3 of us, we could pull it straight through and be there in a bad, fast hurry hauling a trailer. Although that drive, that'll test you with that trailer. My goodness, I need to make sure I up the brakes on the old bass buggy before I start grabbing that trailer to bring it over. But yeah, we need to come out there and do a Delta run. That would be just freaking amazing for sure. So, All right, folks, I'm going to do my best to try to see if I can end this podcast here properly. I'm running this off a tablet, so it's a little bit different here. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. All the guys that are commenting here, love you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you as well. And then we will be back, like I said, this Sunday. Nicole is going to be on here, U.S. Army vet. Want to tune in for that. It's going to be a great show there. We'll have full information all through here on the Heroes Media group and on our channel. All right, what do we have here? Craig, drive safe, take care. Let me know if you have any events on Stanley Lake Sundays and Mondays. Well, I will, Craig, because it looks like we might have something coming up here very soon on Stanley Lake. I'll have to double check the calendar when we get back. That is where we do a lot of our tier 1 stuff, so I'll double check. All right, folks, you know the routine. Tight lines, be safe, take care of each other, and God bless.